Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. In excelsis Deo.
Good morning and welcome to day 14 of Vlogmas. I looked out the window and it is super foggy, but that sun is trying to burn through and now of course not letting me be seen. I woke up this morning and I'm feeling a little bit rough. I think I'm coming down with a sinus infection. I've got some pain across here and in the cheeks and in the nose. I sleep with an eye mask and it was hurting me when I woke up this morning. So the joys of traveling by air. Usually you come down with something at some point. So anyway, I just thought I would quickly come out here to say good morning. I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Tracy and I am the host of the Knitting on the Float podcast. And right now we are looking just off of the float house at the island across the way, which has the sun coming over it. There are logs going upstream. I'm not sure what time the tides are today, but I see a little bit of promising blue in the distance. Other than this, I think it's going to be a nice day. This morning I have been pawing through my stash for a very special project, and I've had these yarns for quite some time. This is Nora George Yarns, and this is Arundel, I believe, and this is on a sparkle sock, and I think these are actually singles on a sparkle. And then this is a special colorway that Tracy of Nora George Yarns dyed up for me, and it's called Cobalt. So I just wanted these two to go together for something, and something exciting is coming along. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough yarn though, so we shall see. I will be trying to figure out some more yarns to add into this project, but right now my mind is thinking about how I want to knit this project up and color choices, things like that. So I have some things in mind. Anyway, that is the first step of a new project, choosing out yarn, and always my favorite part. It gets really chilly in the house in the morning, so I always throw my polar fleece on over top of my pajamas. I'm not dressed yet. I have some good news. Yesterday, after I finished uploading yesterday's vlog, I went back into my walk-in closet because I was pretty sure that is where pre-travel Tracy left her finished object knits. And sure enough, in a bin, it's funny, I picked up all these bins and sort of looked, but totally missed that my medley mitts, my medley hat, the collage socks were out on their own, but I put them in this bin as well. And then I have the forage shawl right here. And what I had been looking for was my first Oddments cowl. So I have found them, thankfully, and the swans did not eat them or take them away, put them on, wear them for a good fashion statement. But I wanted to share with you a little bit of my progress so far. So I've gotten a little farther along in my second Oddments cowl. And again, I'm using the exact same colors, different order. And it looks as though I am not going to have quite enough yarn to do what I wanted. So I have 2 grams left of Sea Storm, probably 3 grams left of Ghost, maybe just even 2. Looks a tiny bit bigger, but not much. And then I am currently working with Dewdrop right now, and I'm just putting my first round of Dewdrop on right now, and we'll start the ribbing. So where this one had 10 sections and I had matching ribbing on either end with Sea Storm on the ends, and then I had Sea Storm, Ghost, Dewdrop, Sea Storm, Ghost, Dewdrop, Sea Storm, Ghost, Dewdrop, Sea Storm. This one I have had to change up a tiny bit. I'm going to be 2 of the repeat short, which, you know, I think will be fine. It'll just be a tiny bit shorter. It'll still be a beautiful cowl. And this one will be Ghost, Dewdrop, Sea Storm, Ghost, Dewdrop, Sea Storm, Ghost, and then Dewdrop. And that will be the cast off of my second Oddments. I am hoping I have enough yarn for the cast off because I believe the edging takes a little bit more yarn. So that's how much I had left of the other 2. Hopefully I will not have to shorten the ribbing, but I will adapt because that's what knitters do. Anyway, I am very happy that I have found my missing knits. And yes, I mean, I knew that pre-Travel Tracy, there was a method to her madness, and she was actually quite wise to put all of the knits into this little Rubbermaid container. So I am gifting these for one of my friends for her birthday. I am wanting to gift this set to someone this week. They're upside down. And then, as I mentioned, I'll probably keep this one, and then my other Oddments will be a gift for someone else. But it is a relief to finally know that I had put them in a good spot. So pretty. Yesterday I was sharing with you the Christmas Eve cast on that didn't get very far, and I was saying that it was the same colorway. This was a mini that I had of On Trial that I used for the cuff and the toe of my collage socks, and I had a full 100-gram skein for the one that I used for last year's Christmas Eve cast on. But then I looked back at Ravelry today, and not only did I cast on my On Trial wrongly knit pair of socks, I also cast on the Curious DK socks, and I did finish those. So I did complete a Christmas Eve cast on last year, and then I looked back, and I had done a Christmas Eve cast on the year before. That had been one of the Sock Society patterns I had put on the needles on Christmas Eve, and I'd used a beautiful cranberry yarn from Hedgerow Yarns. It was a birthday cast on that I did not do. So yes, Christmas Eve cast on, I do tend to stick with that tradition, but I don't always do a birthday cast on. That year I actually chose to do a birthday cast off. I wanted to finish a project, so that's an important thing to do as well. Let's go back to these yarns for a minute, and I'm actually going to give you a tiny bit of a hint what these might be for. and I was asked a few weeks ago if I might take on another test knit, and of course I said yes. So these are going to be for a very special test knit, though right now I'm trying to figure out how I want to use each of these, because the way that my brain says it wants to be used right now, I won't have enough yarn. So I'm just sort of trying to interpret, and I think I've got a fairly good idea, and then I'm going to need to go into my stash and get a few more yarns. But I have got to share my wonderful project bag. Isn't it amazing? And this was given to me a couple of weeks ago, and it is a very, very special project bag. And if you can read that label, you will know why. So I am very, very excited to put this project in this bag. And if you want to learn a little bit more about this project, I'm not going to say too much now, but I would suggest that if you are awake, and I won't be awake tomorrow at this time, 11 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, so London time, Kelly Lay is going to be having an Instagram Live with Daniel George, who made this gorgeous bag, and they are going to be talking about this project. So I would suggest that you might want to tune into that. Kelly will be putting the Instagram Live on her Instagram page, probably in the stories, hopefully as a keeper, because for people like me, where 11 a.m. is, oh, please don't make me have to do the math. I think it's maybe 3 in the morning, something like that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 3 in the morning. The math is still kind of getting me on these time changes. I'm not going to be up at that time, so I'm looking forward to watching that after the fact. But if you tune in or watch it afterwards, you will learn what I want to do with these yarns. And I just sort of, as I said, have to figure out some logistics on it, and I'm starting to put that together now. Anyway, you know what? I need to wind some yarn, and my printer has run out of ink, so I've got to get some ink so that I can print the pattern that I'm going to be using this yarn for, and I've got to get a few more other colors of yarn to add in. It is still quite early. Sun is definitely trying to poke its way through and become a glorious day. I will say that the ibuprofen is taking hold, and my face is not as in pain as it was even 20 minutes ago, so that is definitely a wonderful thing. I am going to call it a day for now because I have some yarn to wind, some needles to find, and I am excited to get something cast on. And if you want to find out more, you will have to tune in tomorrow to see Kelly and Danny chatter on Instagram about what they are up to. And there's a few little hints there. So if you look at the Instagram pages of both Danny and Kelly Lay, Lay Family Yarns and Little Bobbins. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day. I am wishing you a wonderful day 14 of Vlogmas, and I will see you tomorrow when hopefully the pain is not at all existent and I've got a good start on this mystery project. See you then. Bye.
In excelsis Deo, Gloria, in excelsis Deo.
I always say that blocking is magic, and when we compare these two knits, you can see why. This one is what I usually describe as a dish rag. It's pretty, but add water and you go from pretty to beyond.